we now head to the AFC South. A lot of I think when we break this NFL divisional preview, I think we're going to be talking a little bit more quarterback than every other division, just because maybe the NFC South kind of has them as well, kind of bing and bang. But we know there's one team that doesn't need a quarterback. We'll get into that in a little bit. But Gilbert, let's start off with the Tennessee Titans. Do they take a quarterback for the second year in a row? There's been rumors that they're not happy with Malik Willis. Obviously, the whole Ryan Tannehill situation. They probably want to get rid of that. We know Tom Brady mysteriously a couple of years said you're going to stick to that with that MFer. Was he talking about Ryan Tannehill? We don't know. But what says you? Should they take a chance on a quarterback for the second year in a row?
It's tough because they're kind of like the Bears, but maybe worse because they don't really have that future franchise quarterback, and it's still the jury's out on Justin Fields. But like they have a lot of holes in there, and the Titans and the new GM Rand is trying to clear the cap space and get guys going like Taylor Lewan. I appreciate what you're doing here, but get out of here. Got to clear cap space. Surprisingly, Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill are still on the roster. You could have saved money that way, but maybe that kind of tells you they're trying to just at least be a little competitive in the weak AFC South. Well, not really because the Jaguars are in there, but also make cap space at the same time. So the one thing I go back to, like, I would kind of like to see Will Levis in that offense where you have just Derrick Henry doing the workload and you're playing play action and you're just throwing down the field deep. But then if Treylon Burks from the first round of last year can't be that guy down the field, what are you doing with Levis? So part of me wants to lean, build the roster instead of going with quarterback.
See, that's the thing too, Gilbert. I'm with you on I'm more of build the roster just because they don't have any weapons on offense. Like it's all Derrick Henry, save us Derrick Henry. I mean, I know they have some receivers, but they lost Robert Woods. Is Robert Woods with the Rams again?
No, he's with the Texans.
Texans, thank you. Yeah, sorry about that. But I'm of the mindset. Oh, and we're gonna talk about the Texans.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So there you go. Boom. There's a method to the madness. So I want to see them build the rest of the team. Don't just go and settle for a quarterback. Go other places just because you can't just rely on a quarterback to come in here. How is he supposed to get the ball around if he doesn't have weapons? So you can't just depend on Derrick Henry. I think they need to go get more weapons, surround the team with weapons, and then you go get your quarterback once you have more solidified. And we don't know if Treylon Burks is the answer for them at receiver. So we'll see what happens. But Gilbert, I told you there's only one team in this division that does not need a quarterback, and those are the Jacksonville Jaguars. What do you think with them, Gilbert? Do they have some spots in need, or do you feel like they're kind of going to go best player available?
Yeah, they're a good team, but they're not a great team right now. So they do, need to fill some holes there. And, they did lose Jawan Taylor to the Chiefs, so they need help at right tackle right now. And when you have a stud young quarterback, you want to have a good offensive line. So, say at whatever pick they are, I should remember these in the late 20s because they were a good team last year. And the tackles there available, maybe like a Darnell Wright, everybody keeps telling us that he plays great at right tackle at Tennessee. So maybe that could be an option there. But I know that receiving core really surprised us, but there's not really a true number one either. Like I know they got Christian Kirk who broke the bank last year, and they got Zay Jones, and they even got Evan Ingram too. So there's weapons there. And defensively, I know the number one pick last year was a Travon Walker. He didn't really do too much either. So maybe bring out more edge rushers. So a lot of different ways to go here, Fernando. But it's a good spot when you're a talented team. We're like not a glaring need, but you can always go best available player, and that usually works out, right?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. They still have some needs offensive line. You could always get better with the pass rushing. I know Josh Allen's there, the other Josh Allen. They have some other weapons there. They've drafted some good pieces around their defense, but they could still use some more weapons. I know they have Calvin Ridley Jr., but why not give your quarterback more weapons?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, they have Evan. No, and that's the thing. They've gotten a lot better. Maybe they go running back because they have Evan Ingram. You have some good receivers. You have so maybe
they got ETN. It was another first.
Oh, they have. Oh my god, I completely forgot about ETN. Yeah, okay. So basically, go defense on defense. Your pick. Yeah, offensive line or defense.
Yeah,
because that seems like a pretty good offense. But now it's going to be interesting to see if they click. What were you going to say?
Yeah, I was going to say maybe offensive line at right tackle. But like when you mentioned Josh Allen and I mentioned Travon Walker, like it feels like these were high draft picks, but they haven't really done much. So maybe like take another stab at it, another try at the edge rusher, right?
But I mean, the thing is, are they really going to sit these guys? Or kind of rotate them, like how that kind of goes.
The more the better.
That's true. I completely agree with you. You're not. Hey, you keep guys fresh. You keep them rolling. That's what I always said about other players. Like when they're not putting up the production, maybe lower their snap count. Maybe you'll get higher production. Gilbert, do you think it's a foregone conclusion that the Colts are going to trade up and grab a quarterback? Do you think it's quarterback for them or bust basically at this point?
I don't know, man, because that a lot of teams like talking and throwing out smoke screen. Like I feel like the Colts, you don't really hear much unless they're doing the thing where like they bash a prospect, so it'll fall to them, and you don't know who's that coming from. But you think eventually they're going to trade up to get number 3, right, from the Cardinals. Just that's an easy flip there. The Colts get to have their quarterback, the number 3 choice there, or maybe even C.J. Stroud. Who knows? But you know what? Now I think about it. Say like the Texans, we're going to get to it. They do trade out of that spot, but it's a division rival. What's a tricky one? But I think the Colts probably want C.J. Stroud. We don't know about Anthony Richardson, but then again, our guy Shane Steichen, he likes the guys who have the rocket arm, a lot of upside. He made it work with Hurts and Justin Herbert. So I don't know where they go, but I think for sure they're going to go for a quarterback. I think they will trade up. I just don't know which way they want to go.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, nobody knows what way they're gonna go. I mean, could they get a quarterback? Yeah. But I mean, I'm gonna read into this. This was the tweet by Jim Irsay. And you can decipher it with me, Gilbert. For the 23 draft, we have many options. With the 4th pick, we could stay and put and take a quarterback, or trade up and take a quarterback, or trade down and take maybe a quarterback, or not. Smiley face. All options are on the table, but we like our position and are very excited. Fire up. Is that his version of Let's Ride, or what? Do you think that's his version of Let's Ride? Like, what the hell are Jim Irsay? Go to the bathroom. Go take an hour in the bathroom. Like,
This
what are you
is
doing?
the ultimate trying to be dad humor. Hey, it's draft season. We don't know where we're going.
This is so bad. But obviously, I mean, Jim Irsay is going to do whatever he wants. He's a millionaire. But I do think they're going to end up taking a billionaire. Okay, there you go. But well, billionaire takes long craps. But I definitely want to see what they're up to. I want to see what Shane Steichen's going to do with his first job. I truly would trust him with a young quarterback. Be like, hey, let me sit this guy. Let me work with this guy. Let me do what I can with this guy. And I wouldn't doubt that they go with a young quarterback and they bring him out there and he does well. So I definitely think young quarterback is it for I think it's quarterback or bust literally for the Colts. I think they want to fire up that city. They want to get the fans back fired up for them. And I think this is the way to do it.
You don't think Gardner Minshew could do that for them?
Oh, the stash. Actually, I mean, hey, you never know. But he's gonna be a good backup. Watch. Well, never mind. Gilbert, with the Texans, they're the 2nd overall pick. Do you think they pass on a quarterback and draft a pass rusher? Do they trade down? What's kind of your feeling? It's DeMeco Ryans' first draft as a head coach. What do you think happens here?
This is a tough one because now the people that who actually know what they're doing in the insider industry, experts, they're actually believing this. I think the Texans are probably going to pass on a quarterback, and it kind of feels like last minute where maybe it's a little different, but like that year Baker Mayfield was the number 1 draft pick by the Browns. It came out of nowhere, like, oh, now it's going to be Baker being number 1. Like it kind of feels like, oh, now they're not going to go for Stroud or because they lost on Bryce Young. So there's something there, and I'm starting to believe it. But then I kind of like the situation because this is a team that just stinks in a lot of areas. So you get a pass rusher for DeMeco Ryans and maybe a guy like a Will Anderson or a Tyree Wilson, and then you kind of work your way that way. And maybe you can still get a Will Levis at number 12. But then again, was Will Levis your guy you want to build your franchise around? So a lot of questions to be answered. But if you're being petty about the agent and you don't want to get C.J. Stroud, that's on you. You blew it. But if C.J. Stroud's the guy who you want to go and you're just mad about the agent, we better get C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think you kind of need to go quarterback. I mean, unless you completely believe in Davis Mills and you feel like you believe that he's going to be the cornerstone, but he's not.
He's not playing the Chargers every week, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So you have weapons there. You have some pieces that a young quarterback could work with. I really don't think that they're going to trot Davis Mills out there as their first over as the quarterback to start the season. I think it'd be whatever rookie quarterback gets drafted, he'd be starting. So I definitely am interested to see what the Houston Texans are going to do. I think they're the most intriguing team in this draft because they could trade down. They're talking about the Colts trading up with them, and I'm like, wow, in the division, like you rarely ever see that. But It'll be interesting, but another division down. We did the AFC South. Guys, make sure you guys check out all the content that the Compas threw out there. Every single division, we broke it all down. Make sure you tell your Compas, hey, the Compas got all 32 teams covered, all divisions covered. We appreciate you guys so much for checking out the content. Don't forget to check out everything else that is on Compas on the Beat Network.